Thank you everyone for choosing us and joining this webinar today. Today is the webinar of GenAI Intro. We are joined by Alok Yadav. Alok Yadav is a GenAI engineer. He is a senior data scientist transforming industries with artificial intelligence, GenAI, LLM, MLOps, LLMOps, RAG agents. He has trained about at least a thousands of people on this all the code on this all areas, and he's also currently working in artificial intelligence project, executing it for their clients. Thank you so much for being with us today, Alok. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, Sharad, for the introduction. So, good evening, everyone, and good day those who are in other geographical areas. So, welcome to this workshop. Okay, and let's make it interactive. Okay, so we'll discuss something. I want it to be. We have a two-way communication here where we talk about your understanding about Gen AI because we keep on see when we say artificial intelligence. Already we are making machines understand something. So what is something different that Genia is doing here? Apart from that, already what AI was doing. What do you understand by this?
Can we pass?
Yeah, making machines mimic like human behavior, ability to understand spoken language and translate into something intelligent. Fantastic. So what is happening? See, first of all, what are we doing here? If you look around you, we are actually, living in a world of AI. So if I ask you, what tools are you using, you may talk about ChatGPT or maybe some other thing. But look around you. When you're trying to book a cab, you're using AI. When you're trying to search something on Google, you're using an AI. When you're trying to check your inbox, how does your inbox knows this is spam, this is not spam? You're using AI. When you're unlocking a phone, okay, it's using AI. So we are living in a world where AI is everywhere. It's everywhere. So when AI is everywhere, it is solving most of the problem. Why do we need Gen AI? What is so special about Gen AI? Let's understand that. So it's a journey where we are moving from AI to Exactly. I would be talking about the river bank. You're thinking about some financial institution, money, like that. So, how do you know? Language is very complicated. So, you need a context for that to understand. Maybe we are talking about a river bank, or maybe we are talking about actually an entity, a financial entity as a bank. I can give you other example. If I say Apple, now what I'm talking about? I'm talking about Apple as a fruit or Apple as an organization. How do you understand that? So for any language, you need a context to understand. That's what, this is very, very complex. Now, we are having tools. Today, we are having tools which can understand the language, which can understand the context. For example, if I want to translate something, it can do that for us. Let's take one example. If I say, okay, it will translate in English, okay. If I say, okay, what it will do? It will again translate, okay. But as a human being, you know that the pitch and tone is different. I'm not meaning the same thing. So even though when we talk about, a lot of things are happening, still there is lot to happen. Even if I talk okay, again it may just pick up, you know, those words. So language is very, very complicated, and there is lot of research and development going on around us. I was reading an article just couple of days back. It mentioned that okay, we are teaching these machines human languages. There might be a time when it learn all these languages. In fact, it can create its own language. We don't know because think about it. When a child is growing, what we do, we keep on training the kid. This is cat, this is dog, this is papa, this is mama. Like that goes on. We keep on training, and then suddenly it sees something which it has not seen. It is amazed. What is that? Then you say, oh, it's a monkey, it's an elephant. So it learns. Same thing we are doing with the machines. We keep on training machines with a lot of data, a lot of languages. So in 2-3 years, what will happen? It will learn all the languages. Then what will happen? Then it might create its own language, or there are certain languages which still we have not been able to understand. In fact, we can use AI to try to understand, which is totally like there are many languages, many scripts. Still, we have not understood them. So we can, because it's all about learning that we are having. So uh, we look at in terms of language. That is one way. The second thing is vision. Now, what's so special about human vision? If you see, we can put a camera, we can click images, we can record images or videos, everything we can do. But the way we see the world, I'll give you example. Think about it. You might have seen one of your friends, one of your relatives, quite some time back, maybe around 5 years, 10 years back, and suddenly you see that person. You say, okay, I have seen this person somewhere. You will be little bit, trying to guess where you've seen that person, where you, and suddenly, okay, he was one of my distant relatives. I met him at my uncle's place, or maybe somewhere else, or your one of your school's classmate was there. So you're able to remember that. Maybe you might have hardly seen that person for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Now imagine if I have to train an AI model of doing the same thing. What I need a lot of data. For example, if I want to build a simple model that can identify a cat or a dog, what do we need? If you want to do that, then you need at least some images. Let's say 5,000 images of cats, maybe 5,000 images of dogs to train the model. And then it can make a prediction of cat and dog. So, again, in terms of vision, we are still not been able to reach to that level. Okay. So, we are training the machines nowadays. A lot of these things are happening. So AI is everywhere. Like nowadays, if you go and buy an electronic gadget, so it comes up with cognitive abilities. A simple question: if I ask you, can you talk to your mobile phone? You may say, yeah, why not? I say, hey Siri, and it will respond to me. We were trying to understand how this is working, and we discuss about a few other things. Now, so AI is very good. It is solving a lot of problem. Now, it is very good in certain technologies, certain tools, but still, when we talk about Gen AI, what is so special about Gen AI? So, if you all notice, like when we start talking about Gen AI, we started talking about Gen AI when ChatGPT was released. If you all remember, ChatGPT was released in November 2023. So we, for the first time, we got a tool. This tool was able to create a content. When I say content, it was able to create text as if some human being has created. Before this, we were still creating content, but this content was not as if human generated content. We can make out that this is more like a machine generated content. This is not like a human generated content. So for the first time, we were able to create a certain content which looks very similar to a human generated content. Okay. So what is GenAI? GenAI is about content creation. Basically, what you're doing here, you're trying to create a content. When we talk about content, a content could be anything. For example, it could be images, could be audio, video, it could be text. There could be a lot of things that we are looking as a content. So uh, let's quickly look at some of these things when we are talking about content. Okay, so the content could be in terms of as we discuss, text, images, audios, and videos. Okay, and how this is created. These are created by certain models. These models are very, very powerful models. Okay. A lot of content creation tasks. Look at this image. It looks, again, it's very much in detail. It is showing the birds and the rivers and the mountains. Now I'll show you some more images. So we have certain OpenAI tool called as Sora. Like this is from again, if you look at this video generator, Sora video generator. I don't know how many of you have heard of this, but this creates a fantastic, very, very realistic videos. Uh, okay, um, just give me one. Okay, so this is from. They have not released these models, but if you look at these, some of these ones, okay, these all are created by AI. Okay, I'll show you some of them. For example, this is the prompt that have been given. Okay, photorealistic close-up video of two pirate ships. This is one. Then, if you look at other ones, other videos that we are having here, okay, this is again created by AI. So a young man in 20s is sitting on a piece of cloud in the sky. This looks so real. Okay, look at these ones. So in future, think about it in Hollywood or maybe any other industry. Uh, there is no need of going and doing all this. Like we don't need actors. In fact, AI, we will be having AI generated avatars like this one. Okay, we don't need editing. We don't need recording. We don't need anything like for shooting and all. What happens if you want to create a content? There is a team that is involved. Somebody has to set up the venue. Somebody has to know uh, put up all those lightings, and then the recordings. Like actors will come, uh, and then they will play the script and all. Like they will, the cameraman will record. Everything is not required now. You just have to go and sit in somewhere, take a laptop and write down, and you can create an entire movie out of this. So look at the opportunity what GenAI is giving us. In fact, IT companies are very happy because they can venture into a new domain that was not possible earlier. Okay. There are a lot of content creation in terms of videos. So that's what a future actor, a future, maybe a very famous personality would not exist in reality. That is what is going to be there. So these are just some example which would be coming in few days. Okay. Some of this you can see. So like this technology like is from OpenAI, which is already having Chat GPT. So it is having a tool called as Sora, which is again not released completely. Then we have other players also, like Mid Journey is there, Runway is there, Unreal is there. There are many. They are doing a lot of things are going on. So these are about video. So what is going on? Actually, there's a revolution of GenAI that is going on. And when we talk about this GenAI, it is not only about audio video. It is about a lot of things. Okay, which we'll be seeing here. So I just gave you some examples where it could be used. We just saw few of these examples, like for image creations, wide variety of application. You can do a painting. You can be a painter. So you can just mention any of the famous painters, and then you want to create a sketch or you want to create an oil painting, any form of painting. You can ask these GenAI models. They will do that for us. Narayan, you have raised a hand. Do you have any question here? Maybe you can put it in the chat. Okay. Uh, is this a part of, okay, there are some questions. Is this a part of AI platform? Yeah, it's a part of OpenAI. Like OpenAI, it is having the GPT models. It's a part of that. There are many other tools which are still there. You can use them. Uh, right now, they have not released completely. Okay. But definitely, this is going to be paid. It is not going to be free. Okay.
Hey, sorry, question. Thanks for unmuting me. If I want to put wireframes for, like, say, a mobile app, right? I just give a prompt. Is there a way for it to generate, wireframes or prototypes that I can then start coding with? Now, if I want to use AI only, right? Assume I'm not a programmer. I am, but I assume I'm not. And I put a prompt that says I want, screens with these type of designs on them or these functionality. and I want the AI to not just do the designs, but also generate the code. I don't want to have any involvement with redoing the design after they've generated, right? Is there any such capabilities
Yeah,
that you can
yeah,
suggest?
yeah. We do have these capabilities now. Okay, I will show you some examples also, maybe in some time. So I just talking about these paintings and all. Product design, you know that creating a flyers, doing lot the output of that look like. Okay, so no need to go and like we can just copy these. We can run it in our local and check once. Like any one of famous lyricists that we are having. We can create a song, we can create a poetry. So there is a lot of things it is bring. I'll give you one example, a very very famous example in the US. I don't remember the location, but this was in news a couple of months back. There was a child, a kid who was having some problem. So the mother took the kid to a pediatric. The pediatric gave the doctor gave some prescription, so she bought the medicine, but the child was not cured. Then she went to a second doctor. He again saw the symptoms. He also gave her medications, but again the child was not cured. So the mother was very curious, like what has happened. I went to two doctors, but nothing is working. She sat down and started putting the symptoms and doing some research on ChatGPT itself. Then it suggested that, like, fine, this problem that the child is having, one of the reason would be one of the very rare genetic disorder the child may be having. And then whatever she found, she did a lot of research using these GenAI models. She took all those findings to a third doctor, to a third pediatric, and then he also thought, okay, there have been two earlier doctors he has visited, but not much help. Let me look at these from this point of view also. He recommended certain genetic test, and they found that the child was having a rare genetic disorder, which was further, uh, confirmed by doing certain genetic tests, and then further medications and treatment was done. Now you can think about it. Look at the power that it is bringing to us as a common man. Okay, what kind of power it brings to us. We can be an expert. We can be a. We cannot replace doctors, but definitely those thinking capabilities. At least we can get a lot of ideas. How what could be the reason behind that? Okay, what could be the problems? We can be engineers. We can be uh, programmers. You don't need to write a single line of code, and you can see we can create a UI. We can create any different. We can write down in the scripts. We can create a back end, front end. A lot of things we can play with this. So, what will happen? It is going to make us more productive. Only thing is that we all should be able to use these tools. Okay, the more the better we are able to use these tools, a lot of problems we can solve, and that is why see there are many things that is going around. We don't know where the future will be, what is going to happen, but if you see around you, uh, right now it is actually helping everywhere. So doctors are becoming more productive. Students, they can ask a question directly. If you look at education system, what happens? There is one instructor or maybe one teacher, and then we have 20, 30 students. Now every learner is having a different state of mind. We are having the same teacher or maybe instructor for everybody. In future, it could be totally different. We may not have a real teachers. We may not have a real instructors. It could be an AI bot, and it is trying to understand what is the level of understanding of the student or the participant. On basis of that, it is teaching or it is discussing. So level of understanding of everybody. So if a person is having a basic level of understanding, the content will be delivered in that way. If somebody is having a professional level of understanding, the learning content will be delivered as per that. So this is going to change. Everything is going to be very, very personalized. We all have seen COVID. We all have seen COVID, what has happened during COVID. We were having short of medical professionals. There were a lot of other issues. So now GenAI can play a very, very important role here. Okay, there has been certain studies in China where they were trying to look at cancer markers. So I'll just give you example. Suppose currently there are 12 cancer markers that we know, like they take a tissue and the cell study under microscope and try to find out certain markers. Now what happened? So they took some cancerous tissues and use AI tools, and then it gave three new markers. Like earlier we were not aware of that okay, these markers are also indicator of cancer, so we were able to find a new markers. Like that, there are a lot of diseases. Some of the diseases we still don't have medications. So GenAI can be very, very important here. It can actually help us to create vaccines, to create solutions where certain incurable disease like cancer, okay, certain other problems can be solved using GenAI. So there was another example that the last antibiotics that was discovered, it was quite long back, maybe a couple of years back. After that, we thought, okay, almost all the antibiotics have been discovered, and we don't have anything left. Recently, because of GenAI, we were able to discover a new antibiotics. Okay, so how you do that? You are able to understand the structure of the molecules, protein, how the biochemistry works. And if you can understand the structures, earlier what used to happen, we used to take X-ray images, like it was a very complex process to understand that structure. Now with these GenAI tools, it has become so simple. If you look at periodic table of chemicals, okay, we still feel that okay, most of the chemicals we have discovered, but still there might be some new material which still have not been discovered. GenAI can help us to bring some new material which we never know, and that's why people are talking about being immortal, because there could be certain materials, certain elements which we don't know that can bring immortality because of GenAI. So look at the power, look at the potential that it is bringing along with it. How do we use? You can create a synthetic material which doesn't exist. Okay, a new form of art which we have not seen also. A new form of building material, construction material could be created. Something very new. So that's the power, that's the potential we are having, and there is a lot of things going on in this world. A lot of research going on. People are doing lot of things. Okay, so for you as an individual, you should see that okay, how should we learn these tools and how should we utilize them? Okay, there are different ways of you don't need to know the coding and all. Okay, without coding you can go and you can build up your own applications. uh, you can build up your own solutions. I have seen CAs, like chartered accountants. They are building AI solutions, Gen AI solutions, which can look into the financial documents. Okay, like one of the most problem that we are having with documents and all, like CAs have to go and file the tax and all, which could be automated very easily. Other challenges are legal. If you look at legal fraternity, like legal structure, there are a lot of legal papers. Okay, a lot of hearings, a lot of earlier cases. So a lot of documents have to be reviewed. Okay, and it is lots and lots of cases, previous cases. Okay, that has been closed, and lot of documents. So AI can again, Gen AI can play a very important role in this kind of things. So we can, as we are discussing here, we can create a very innovative content, a new form of art, a new form of music, a new form of literature, or we can modify that. One of the problems that we are having for these AI and data science, machine learning is data. We don't get proper data. That problem can also be solved using, like we can create synthetic data using this. Okay, product design, we discuss generating marketing campaigns, logos. Okay, nowadays a lot of companies are using AI to create marketing campaigns. Okay, even advertisement also created by Gen AI. Research and development, a new form of possibilities, a complex problem which we were not able to solve, we can be able to solve these, using these Gen AI. Few of the examples, we have these DALI model. This is from OpenAI, which can be create, used to create images. Just now we saw some examples. Okay, using uh, Meta, that is using a foundation model called as Llama. So basically, this Llama is an open source. Same way we have there are certain models, these GenAI models, which I will be talking in some time. Okay, we'll look at them. But remember, AI is not something which is
Hey, can you suggest some free AI sites that we could use? I mean, some of us don't want to pay, right?
Yeah. So let me first say this. I'll
Yeah.
share.
Rain has a way of weaving itself into the fabric of our memories, doesn't it? Each drop seems to carry a whisper of nostalgia, a reminder of laughter shared under stormy skies. I often find myself lost in the melancholic rhythm of rain, where every patter on the window feels like a heartbeat, echoing the bittersweet moments with friends. Imagine crafting a melody that captures this essence, a soft piano entwined with gentle strings, creating a soundscape that mirrors the ebb and flow of our emotions. It's in these rainy days that we find solace, where the world slows down, allowing us to reflect on the
Ulama tools. So if you want to build a bot, okay, there are certain ways of doing that. So you need a bot template. Certain template we can build. Like I have one, I can show you that. Okay, where I can utilize that particular template to run. So we have got certain apps called as Streamlit apps. So what you do, you take those apps, upload your documents, and then you can ask any questions. Okay. One of the very simple one I have, which I can show you right now. So I need to start the Docker. Let me check.
No,
Okay.
it's okay if it's not here. Just so it's easy way, right? It's easy method, not a difficult one.
Very easy. So here you can see, I have this. Yeah, this one. So you can see it's so simple. It creates a UI for me. Maybe I need to sign into this. So you have to sign in basically. Okay. That's what you are there. Now you can select your model, any model. Like in my machine, I have these, any model like GPT model, Llama model. These are different models. Okay. Now this is my chatbot. If I say hi, say build certain applications. I have some applications. Let me see if I can open that, where you can fed your own document. So if I feed my document, I should be able to ask certain questions. Okay. So you can prepare certain UI for that. Again, how do you do that? So yeah, it requires, like, my system, if you see, is around 8 GB of RAM. Okay. So there are certain models which still you can run, certain models which will require a lot of resources. You may not be able to run. Okay. And there are other ways of doing that. So I've also built certain other applications. Okay. Where you can. So I can just, like, I want to do a chat. I want to discuss something. So okay, I will upload here. So I can upload any document. Like, let's say my document I'm having here. Something like this. Okay, 5 different ways agents are working. Okay. Uh, or any other document that you are having. Okay. So here I have some document. Okay, let me upload this one. Okay. This document you can see. I'm just uploading it here. Okay. This is uploaded. You have to create embeddings. Embeddings are basically you convert your data into a form that model will understand. Okay. So this was the document that I have uploaded. You can see here. It is creating embedding. I think I have not run the quadrant. I have to start a quadrant here. So once I start a quadrant, what will happen? Again, I have to run another service. Okay, for quadrant. So
You could
yeah, maybe it may
we
take
could
some time. So, but then here what will happen if I run that? I can directly chat with my bot. Okay, that connection I have to start. So I can talk with my document. I can ask any question and it should be able to respond. So this is how you locally build a chatbot, okay, for your models. Simply.